When in certain parts of the world, some cultural sites feel threatened as well as safeguarded, the 42nd session of the World Heritage Committee 2018 establishes itself for the first time in Bahrain as an arena for delegates all over the world to join hands in exchanging experience among the site managers. The main aim focused on the protection of significant properties and places of outstanding universal value. The forum is all geared to wrap the coat of protection through reactive monitoring and other strategies.
The World Heritage Site Managers Forum is very important because all the site managers who are on the ground, who actually work daily to conserve the sites and protect the sites, they never really get the chance to meet other site managers. So it's important that they all come here and listen to each other and talk to each other and share their problems and knowledge. So this is a very meaningful forum where we have all these important people to come that usually don't feature in many of the other international meetings. So this is a very meaningful forum. I've been to the Kalat Al Bahrain, the Bahrain fort, and it's a very impressive archaeological site. And the fort, I was actually quite impressed of how the citizens of Bahrain actually use the site. They go to it daily. I see people walking, I see people families walking, I see people jogging around, and I think that's exactly what heritage sites needs to be. It needs to be into the daily lives of the people. It's not something special or kept away or hidden behind locked doors, but something that we can use and enjoy every day, every part of our lives. Sometimes people go to heritage sites in their neighborhoods where they live, and they don't consider it to be that important until somebody else from outside comes and exclaims that, oh, this site is wonderful, this site is beautiful. It's perhaps in the conception of people's mind that because it's very near you, you don't feel that it's very special enough to merit a lot of attention. But once it's taken away from you, you realize how important it was and how valuable it was to you from the inside. So I think this is the quality of heritage. It's something that you can't distinguish very easily, but it's so important and embedded in you that you really need to preserve and protect. When property developers would actually have also very good intentions in mind. Maybe they want to revive the economy and maybe they want to include more facilities for the people. That's something that is also possible, but perhaps we need to talk to them in not only emphasizing that the site is important, but what we need to do in order to protect the sites. They might know that it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and they might know that it's an important heritage site, but they might not know the procedures or the methods on how to protect the site. And this is where I think we really need to talk. The heritage protection agencies and then the property development agencies need to talk and find a medium way of making change, sustainable change, but also protecting the heritage values. It's one thing to say that heritage is important, but it's another thing to say and really show what kind of ways we can take in order to protect that site. Well, first of all, we want to engage with as many site managers as possible and possibly define the role and responsibilities of site managers. They have to undertake multiple lines of jobs and responsibilities, and yet they're hardly trained for it. They never receive information about it, and they have a lot of difficulties in communicating with the right people to do their jobs. So it's our objective to really give them the voice and give them enough information that they can do their jobs better, and perhaps by empowering them, the heritage sites is also going to gain a lot because the people protecting the sites will have a lot more power and voice to speak up and implement different changes and differences. World Heritage Convention is a very elaborate system, and it has been developing for over 40 years, and there's a lot of actors involved in the process. There's a lot of international bodies like UNESCO, IUCN, ICOMOS, ICROM. There's a lot of NGOs, there's many government agencies, national government offices, regional government offices, local government offices, and then researchers and academics. So it's a very, very vast field where many actors have to play their roles, and usually the site managers are considered to be the last person who actually has to do whatever that was discussed between these many actors, rather than being included in the discussion itself. So, which is why the site managers have been so far very sort of invisible in the whole discussion of World Heritage. This World Heritage Site Managers Forum, we're going to focus on really defining the roles and responsibilities and identifying what the site managers need in order to do their job properly. So it's to identify the capacity building needs, and if we can identify the needs, we can provide them with the right material and information. Well, that is different from country to country and from region to region, but usually culture or nature protection is somehow shifted to the far side of many societies, thinking that it comes after economy, it comes after medicine, it comes after politics, which is probably why many of these agencies are very much underfunded. And if you're underfunded, you can't really employ a lot of human resources, and thus heritage site managers have to play multiple roles in order to do their jobs, which in theory would have been much better if we could employ multiple people who can do diverse jobs altogether. 5 years down the line of the World Heritage Site Managers Forum, we would like to see a very strong network between the site managers that would connect them up together, and they can actually exchange their information and knowledge together, and they can also suggest better ways that the international community has to react upon developments or many threats that are posed to World Heritage properties. So we really want them to be recognized as a very important player within the World Heritage Convention, and that's what we are trying to do. I am actually the coordinator for the World Heritage Leadership Program, and our program itself aims to connect up these site managers and to listen and to learn from them, so that we can actually provide a better activity of courses, of capacity building, of education. So in a way, it's a two-way communication. For us, it's important that we have this forum to listen, so that in 5 years' time we will be able to answer to those needs that the site managers require us to do. So that's how I foresee the future.